Welcome. Hi, this is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. Today, it's Jill and Jack of All Trades Thursday Training. I guess I better tell you why it's called Jill and Jack of All Trades Training. I just thought it was kind of cute, but to be honest, like all entrepreneurs, we always have to be available to have skills that we never thought we would have when we started our business. Because if you don't, you will find yourself losing time and losing money when you're dependent on other people. So I like to call it the knowing a lot about a various things in your business, or being a jack of all trades or a Jill of all trades, if applicable to you. So today I'd like to call this my Jill and Jack of all trades training Thursday. And on Thursday, we'll be talking about there's just so many things we'll be talking about that we have to start doing that. So, for example, you have to know a bit about your cash flow. If you don't know about your cash flow, you'll be losing money. And if you don't know how to do sales and you don't know how to do selling, well, you're not going to have a business. So everybody, whoever goes in to be an entrepreneur, needs to know a bit about sales and selling and how to get customers, and your website and your email, and just getting subscribers to your list and knowing all that computer technology and on and on and on. So it's always good to be able to know a little bit about everything. And of course, I have forgotten to introduce myself. So this is me. Hi, I'm Jane Gardner, and I have my website, jane-gardner.com, which is basically my main site. And I've been on the internet for about 3 years, but I've been in business with my husband, who's over there on the right, for about 19 years as in our home-based business as an engineering company here in Canada. As you can see over there on the West Coast, we live over there. And basically, we like to travel, and that's picture me in the old office. We converted our what we call a den basement into our office, and then when we finally made the decision and commitment, we paid some money and renovated our garage into our home office. It works quite well. And then I have my dogs, and we like to travel, and I'm an artist, and you'll probably see me on the internet doing a lot of memes. Some people call me the meme queen because I enjoy doing memes. They're really get you getting started in the morning in a positive mood. So today we'll be looking at, I think today we'll be looking at HTML. Oh, sorry. Let me get back to me. We're going to be talking a little bit briefly about HTML, because you need to know about HTML if you want to have some control over your website. I know a lot of you are probably not interested in designing your website or knowing a lot about code or knowing how to set up your email. But if you don't know a little bit about this, you're going to be losing money and you're going to be unproductive, because you're going to have to be waiting for someone else to do it for you. And sometimes they have a big lineup of people that they're getting things done for, so that costs you time. And of course, it costs you money. And being a solopreneur, you always have to make sure you're keeping an eye on your money. So today I thought there's just so many things to talk about that I thought today we'd just do a quick overview of what HTML is for any of you who don't know what it is. And then maybe I'll have a checklist available for you to download of a few HTML tags that you need to know in your business, just to make your website work better, and also just make it look better. Just quickly be able to adjust things in your website. So today we're going to have a look at, let me just turn the training on here. we're going to have a look at HTML, and that stands for, of course, Hypertext Markup Language. It's the original language that your web browsers use to communicate to you what a particular web page looks like. It was the original one, and I learned it back in the 1990s. And just like learning any new language, be it Spanish, Chinese, or even English, of course, there's all these memorizing as well as learning some basic standards, like what a noun is or how it's used properly in a sentence. Well, just the same way, so does HTML. And most of it I actually learned on the internet. They've been very good at, instead of nouns and verbs, there's tags and other elements. Some of the new ones in our video span. Your web browser uses it to put your YouTube videos on your computer screen, or those words with bold type or red color on that web page. All those cool things are because of certain elements or tags that make up your HTML coding. There are loads of other languages for your web browsers. They now have CSS, and the jQuery or JavaScript, but these also add a lot of additional cool features to your website. But HTML is the basic, the foundation, which everything started with the HTML websites. So what is HTML5? It's the newest version, and it's many improvements over its prior version. They have a few new tags, and of course it probably responds better to the many of the basics of HTML remain with HTML5. There's a few differences between HTML5 and the older versions of HTML. The code is cleaner and easier for today's browsers to read and interpret. They've added a few new tags. Some of the old tags have been dropped, and HTML is built to work, of course, with your cell phone and your tablets. More responsive. A couple of the new tags in HTML5 are video and audio, and the carets on either side are, of course, required for either of those tags in order to use it. One of the ways I learned about the different HTML tags was looking at the code in other people's web pages. So that's a good tip for you if you're just wanting to start learning about HTML. Anytime you want to see the tags or coding that makes a website do what it does, just in your browser, you right click and then select View Page Source, and there you go. It'll show you some of the coding. And I know it looks kind of scary and overwhelming. It's just like seeing a foreign newspaper. But as you become more familiar, you start to pick out words that you might remember and what they mean. And obviously there's HTML and then CSS on top of that. But the more you learn about it, the more you'll be able to recognize what most of that is and what it does. Then you'll be able to use the same tags and elements to craft your own web pages. And I think next week we'll go over a few of those tags live. But here's a few websites for you to bookmark to learn more about what makes a website do what it does. And one of these I know was one of my main ways to learn HTML when I was using Front Page and those other systems to create it. This one is called htmldog.com. It has tutorials. It has references and articles, but especially the tutorials are the best way to learn about something. Sometimes when I go blank and can't remember, well, how do I do that again? I just do a search in Google and go and find one of these websites to find out how to do it, say how to make a list or how to do a link. So they usually always list the tags, so you see quite a variety of tags that they use. And then there's related pages about the attributes and tags and CSS properties. Some of the tags that have been removed from HTML5 so that you're not going to be using those again and figuring out why. So for example, they used to have a tag called bold, but now they're using the strong, which means strong emphasis, and it instead of bold. This is the one that I've been using, www.w3schools.com HTML /. It's really great because it has a little tutorial there that you can actually use the example. So all you have to do is copy and paste it, and they tell you how to do that, and they show you what it's going to look like when it's working. And in each HTML page, you have to start with the caret exclamation mark doc type HTML caret. And then there's the basic structure, which is called nesting. So they have that up the top, and then there's the body and the head. And then there's various elements. I like this website because you can see what it's actually going to look like. And then they've changed the top of each HTML page now. It used to be quite longer in 4.01. I had to remember all the transition / en, all that. It was quite you had to basically go and copy and paste it because no one could remember that. But now it's much easier with the new header at the top of HTML. And then there's another website you could try, W3C. It has training there on what is HTML as well. They use a wiki page. Yeah, right. On Wiki, they have their own W3 website information on HTML. They have some of the history, and they show you the basic structure of a page, which is, and then they would have some of the tags that you can use. So you would just go through there and look and see, okay, if I want to make this a larger size font, what HTML do I use? And then, of course, you can always go to Wikipedia and see what they have there on HTML. There's always information on everything at Wikipedia. And then the update for HTML5 is on Wikipedia. You can have a read through there and see all the information on that. It can make a difference if you do know some HTML to see what the difference is between it and HTML5. But in particular, it's got some quite a new features on video and audio, making it easier for you to do your videos on your website and your podcasting on your website. Oh, and here's the HTML video code and how to use it. And obviously, they have good explanation on what code you use and how do you just copy and paste it and add in your links to make it different. And they tell you what the video formats those HTML use. So the more you practice, of course, the better and quicker you'll get at doing it. It is a foreign language for some people, but it's just something that you have to, if you don't know, it has really helped to be able to know some HTML. So maybe next week, I don't know, maybe I should just do a little call on a variety of subjects and then go into doing a little training. But I can do a little training on when you do WordPress and you're putting in your images and your text and nothing's aligning right, it just won't move into the place that you want it to. It doesn't center even though you told it to center by clicking on center. Then you have to go into your HTML and see what's wrong. Or if the link doesn't work, that you want to go to another page, well, why wait for a web developer to do it? And why pay a web developer to do it? I'm all about doing a little, knowing a lot about, a lot of things. And it can be scary at times, and you think, oh, I don't want to learn this. But honestly, you can just get some cheat sheets of things, and I'll put together one for next time of just the ones that really get you some control of your HTML and your website, and that will really help you. So I think that's all for today. I just wanted to show you the kind of things that I'll be doing. I'll just put up this again. So I will be talking about cash flow. I know you don't want to talk about money except when you're earning it. And talking about sales and websites especially. I'm even thinking of doing another show just on the website as your platform. I don't know. And it's the same thing. You could do a whole show on email, because email is important, because it's collecting your customers under your platform and being able to communicate with your customers quite often. And I don't want to scare you off with too much computer stuff, but it's important to be able to have it secure, to have your website attractive, etc. So I think that's all for today. I think I spoke enough for today. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you.